believe that Islam has the same God as Christians do.
No.
Why?
Because in the Quran, Muhammad consistently says Jesus is not God. I, as a follower of Christ, worship Jesus as God.
But in the Bible, nowhere does it say that Jesus is God unless you interpret John 1:1 and John 1:14, where it says the Word became flesh, in the beginning was the Word was God, and the Word was with God. But Jesus never said blatantly, I am God. That's why it's like the messianic secret, right? And when God talked to Jesus, he said this is my son who I am with well pleased. So he's the son of God in the Bible, and that's all he's over portrayed as, even in his death as centurion, when he said this man was surely the son of God. And so where in the Bible does it say Jesus is God, excluding John 1:1 and John 1:14?
In John 8:58, Jesus says, before Abraham was born, I am. The Jews did not call God G-O-D. They called him Yahweh, Jehovah, which is the Hebrew verb to be. I am who I am. Very deliberately in John 8:58, Jesus says, before Abraham was born, I am. No misunderstanding among the Jews. They understand it as the sin of blasphemy. That he, a mere man, would have the audacity to claim to be God in human form is unacceptable. John chapter 10, verse 30. Jesus says, I and the Father are one. Once again, no misunderstanding. The Jews pick up stones to stone him for blasphemy. After his resurrection, the disciples say to Thomas, we saw Jesus risen from the dead. And Thomas says, I'm sorry, not unless I can see him with my own eyes, not unless I can take my hand and put them in the nail prints in his hands, will I believe. One night, Jesus stands right in front of Thomas and says, right here, my man, take your hands and put them in the nail prints in my hands. Take your hand and thrust it in a spear wound in my side. And Thomas stopped doubting and believed. Thomas hits the floor and says, my Lord and my God. And Jesus says, you believe because you've seen. Blessed are those who will believe even though they've not seen.